Hi, and welcome to Designing with Casual Elegance. I'm Susan Sage, your host, and today I am talking about spring and Easter. So the first half of our show is going to be putting together this wonderful bookcase that we brought in, something I've been wanting for a long time, and finally found one that was unique. It's a half round. And what I like about it, if I wanted to turn around and use it the other way, I could put it in the corner there. So you're going to see it used both ways throughout the course of the shows. And of course, I did the top shelf because I can't have a ladder on the set. So anyway, I'm going to get started, and I'm going to have some books, some Easter items, and other types of tchotchkes. So we will start with a couple books, or let's see. Don't want any more. And I may jump around a little bit while I'm doing this to different, if I can stand up, to different areas. And of course, Easter eggs, they're open on the bottom so that you actually can put a battery-operated candle in or a candle and have it come on every evening at the same time. But I'm going to dress it up, of course, with a little touch of Easter. We've had such a long, cold winter that I think we all want to see more and more blooms all over the place. Let's go this way. And perfect Easter little picture. This is nice blue and white ceramic pots with lots of tulips and white flowers. And I apologize for turning my back, but it's going to be part of the process. And most of these books you'll see are design or mainly design books. Oh, some gardening books. And you know, you'll see a lot of people who like to put their books with the spine at the back and show the pages. I want to know what I'm reaching for, and if I'm looking, especially if I'm looking for a specific book, I want to see it. And some people will take all of the jackets off. And again, I'm not going to. Another thing you're seeing out and about right now is a lot of vessels. They are using them all different colors, all different sizes, all different shapes. And so even though I've had these for a long time, I think they still work. Oops. We may move these guys. This poor little guy had a little accident. But it's not the first time. There are glued handles all on both pieces. Okay, what have we got here? Oh, we could use some books up there. Biltmore. This is a great book, going through and showing beautiful pictures and stories of the Biltmore. Haven't been there yet, but hopefully it is on my bucket list. And I hope we're getting a little bit of depth here as I place things. Oh, we'll put that up there. I do have a couple little Easter bunnies, very fond of each other. Gotta have, it's the time of year, so I think the kissing bunnies are just really sweet. Okay. You. Of course, this doesn't really work. It's just a piece of artwork from England, from my mother-in-law. And another little touch of Easter. And another little gardening thing, which I found years ago, but it is my last name, so I just have to show it. Always use it in my bookcases or on a shelf by the TV. We will go. A little bit of greenery, which we'll put with the bunnies. And a few more books. I do have a lot of books on French country. It is my favorite style of decorating. I think it's homey. And if you look at what's happening with French country today, it is a lot more relaxed than what it has been. And Charles Faudré, who's not with us anymore, was actually from Tulsa. Wonderful man. I did get a chance to meet him. And he would travel the world over. He had all kinds of things. He has several books. And I think I've got 3 or 4 of them. And I do use these all as reference. Seasons and Celebrations. This is a great book. This was actually written by Ron Johnson. And Ron Johnson has 3 very unique boutiques in Springfield, Missouri. But he does an incredible Christmas display. And a friend of mine, Bill Cook, who is a sales rep, whenever he goes for Christmas, he takes me along for their open house. So he was kind enough to get the book for me and, of course, had it signed, which was sweet. But he goes through the different seasons and how he likes to celebrate that with a party and how to decorate for it and food. So just a lot of fun, and I love the fact that it is a local person, in a sense. Okay. Occasionally we do have a party, and a lot of times our house is, you kind of stand there and wonder where the front door is. Well, if you come in on the front walk, we will always put this little sign that says, "Happy hour, enter," so that people know this is the door, come in, and then go right upstairs. That's where the party will be. And it's funny, this I did get, again, it was a local artist in Kansas City where we lived for 24 years. This is a great book. Which fork do I use with my bourbon? When we did the Kentucky Trail last year and visited 23 different distilleries, I found this book. And it's great because it'll tell you how to have a bourbon tasting party. And again, has recipes, but explains how the glass for bourbon tasting was actually developed or formed. It's a very unique shape, which I did have it on last week's culinary journey. And of course, entertaining appetizers, small plates. I love being in my kitchen as much as I love designing. And I think these will go right there. Okay, and I still have kind of a blank space over here. Put a knife. And if you know anything about freeze-dried boxwood, this stuff is great. I've got topiaries, these little, they last forever. You should, every once in a while, just spritz them, or you can run them under water to get the dust off, and then just put them back out, let them dry, and they're good to go for a long time again. Poor pear had a little accident, but it'll still stand up. Another pear. And actually, oops, got another little egg here. I may put that, no, we'll go down here. I'm going to pull this back out and put it over here on our buffet. Give that just a little bit more. And we still have a couple wing chairs here. So we want to make this a nice, cozy reading nook. You got to have a pillow. Love that toile fabric. And I know we're getting to the time of year where you're not really going to be using a throw, but they're still wonderful for design purposes. And of course, we have to have bunnies. Bunnies are just, they're huge this year. Easter, you always do see a lot of bunnies, but they're all over the place and all different kinds. There's grass bunnies, felt bunnies, ceramic bunnies. It's been kind of fun just going around seeing them all in the different shops. So we're gonna take a little break, and when we come back, I am going to do Easter baskets. Very different Easter baskets. So we'll see you in a couple minutes.
At Macadoodles, we have a fully stocked liquor and beer tasting bar where you can not only try it before you buy it, but have a great time doing so. And the fun doesn't stop there, because every day, all day in our wine shop, you can try a variety of different wines from around the world. At Macadoodles, you will also find knowledgeable and friendly staff to help you with your purchases, from the wine cellar to the checkout counters. When you shop at Macadoodles, you will have a great time from the minute you walk through the door. With the best assortment, competitive pricing, and world-class customer service, Macadoodles is the fun place to shop.
Welcome back. Well, this segment we are going to talk about Easter. So of course I had to put on one of my Easter bonnets. I mean, it is one time of year every lady should wear a hat. I wear them pretty much all the time, but thought I would just show you, just a fun little accessory for this time of year. So it's going to get in the way of doing Easter baskets, so I'm not going to leave it on, but get an Easter bonnet and wear it. Wear it in the garden, whatever. So the first thing I am going to do is use a flower pot. So this basket is for the gardener. And I did put a little bit of plastic in here to raise up the base. But then I'm going to use a little bit of tulle. And I may put a little grass at the end. So, important things for gardening. Maybe a little garden hat. Tools. If I were doing this as a real gift, I would get new tools, but these are definitely well worn. Okay. Pruners. Always got to keep pruners. I think we have 3 sets: outside, in the kitchen, downstairs. Lots of plants that need to be taken care of. And just another sharp little cutter. Well, and if you are going to be planting, you have to have seed packets. And these are very plain fronts. I've got carrots and radishes, both of which are coming up in my garden as we speak. And beets. And something that maybe a lot of people don't think about but should is sunblock. And especially here in Northwest Arkansas, bug spray. I mean, let's face it, if you are out in the yard, there's going to be plenty of bugs. And this one actually has lavender in it. This is a natural spray that you can find at the Bella Vista Farmers Market. And that happens on Sundays. I think it begins May 4th this year from 8 to 1. And we do ours on Sunday, so we're not competing with Bentonville or Rogers or Fayetteville, any of the other communities around us. And it is a very good farmer's market. And we do have some paper grass. Can't be an Easter basket unless you got a bunny. And he's not going to fit in here very well, but maybe. So there's your chocolate bunny. Okay. Oops, wait, I forgot the garden gloves. Sugar high is good. Okay, how's that? We got lots of good stuff in there. Now, okay, this is fun. Stock pot. This one I'm going to do for the person who likes to do canning. And again, we're going to put a little bit of tulle. Got to have a canning book. And this is really geared to somebody who's just beginning, has an interest but has nothing to begin with. So, book is very important, and the encyclopedia of canning is Ball. They wonderful Ball jars, been around for over 100 years now, and they actually have several books on canning, and they do get a little bit into fermenting, which is also a great way. I know if my green peppers or if I have vegetables that I haven't used quick enough, I will actually ferment them. Of course, that's a whole nother show, and we'll address that in summer as we get fresh vegetables. Okay, you've got to have a funnel to go right on your jar to put your hot food in, especially salsa. And the pot, of course, is good for mixing the salsa or doing your strawberry basil preserves or your peach jalapeno jam, or even just peaches, pears, spaghetti sauce. Hot jars. You gotta have something to get that hot jar and move it around with. Handy little thing, and I think this was only $3, again, at the farmer's market. The magnet, and my husband was so clever. He, instead of just getting a small magnet to dip your lids and your bands into the hot water, he had to get an automotive one. It was adjustable. So I guess he might be afraid I'd burn myself. I don't know. And this is a 2-in-1 tool. When you have your jar ready, you want to get all the bubbles out, so you're going to go around. And different recipes will tell you how much airspace to leave on top of what you've got in the jar. So you have little different measurements here that you can just set and make sure you're at the right amount. Got a right amount of air. Dissolvable labels, you got to know what you canned. And of course, your lids and bands. And you know, when you take it out of that canner, you want to make sure you hear them all pop. Then you know for sure it's sealed. You let them sit for 24 hours, whatever you have done. And in the morning, you can do the little test. I know I've shown this when I did the canning show, where you just pick it up this way to make sure that it is completely sealed. If not, you know what's going to happen. And we might give this person some peeps. I mean, who doesn't love peeps? Oh, and I forgot, always forget something, your jar lifter. And you're gonna get those boiling jars, and this is actually used throughout the process. Once you've got your jars hot, and then of course you're gonna fill them with the hot food, then you'll have to lift them to put them in the canner, and then of course when you remove them from the canner. Put those back here. Okay, now comes my favorite. And I know I've said this before. The best gift my husband ever gave me was a toolbox for Valentine's Day. And then a couple of years ago, he actually had to get me a larger one. So, if you have somebody, maybe they're going into their first apartment, or they don't have a toolbox, you want a nice sturdy toolbox. And just put a few tools in it, you know, hammer. Gotta have a level, just a little level. Tape measure. And depending on what their hobby might be, you might need some really good wire cutters if they like to do florals. And these are really nice and strong, especially when you get those really thick, heavy bushes. The most important tool in the toolbox, other than the hammer, is the little hand drill. This is the best thing ever. And just because of the things that I do have a glue gun in here, pliers, screws, And then I also keep lots of little drill bits. Got to have them, especially when I'm hanging stuff here. Make the hole first and make so that I can easily get the screw in. And again, we're going to use a little tool. And I'm going to do grass on this. And we'll put in Peter Rabbit. We might even give this, because this is a big piece, we're going to give him a couple chocolates. So just some different ideas for the adults, I would say, or anybody who enjoys whatever, like whether it's gardening or cooking or baking. You can make a basket for anything. Somebody who reads, you know, a few books and, I don't know, maybe reading glasses. So I'm going to move this out of the way. And all of these wonderful bunnies and this floral arrangement did come from Avenue Design. They are one of our sponsors. They now have a new store, which is wonderful. It just opened this week. And they are always kind enough to let me check out merchandise. So I'm just going to do a quick little display in the basket. Oops, he's not high enough. And we could put some grass in. That looks. You can put this out on the front porch or do it on the table. I think our little guy is going to be hidden. And what I use to raise things up is styrofoam, or you can use floral foam. He's actually hiding. So just another little idea for Easter. And I have one more. This again is from Avenue Design. And this is a placemat. They have many different for many, many seasons. And then this could be used to either write out your menu or for your silverware. Move this out. So for ideas, you can write out your menu on this little card. You could put your napkin on the plate, use it for your silverware to the side. And the way that I like to use it is expose just part of the placemat. I'll do that on this side. Got your card, or that could be a napkin. And there you go. Just a fun idea, a few ideas to celebrate your spring and Easter. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Hopefully you got some good ideas today. And we hope that you do subscribe. It costs nothing. I will see you next month for the Culinary Journey and another design show. Bye.